Samuel came to Saul, and Saul said unto him, Blessed be thou of the Lord Yahweh, I have performed the commandment of the Lord. And Samuel said, What meaneth then this bleating of sheep in my ears, and the lowing of the oxen which I hear? And Saul said, They have brought them from the Amalekites, for the people spared the best of the sheep and of the oxen to sacrifice unto the Lord Yahweh, thy power. Okay, and the rest we have utterly destroyed. Then Samuel said unto Saul, Stay, and I will tell thee what the Lord hath said to me this night. And he said unto him, Say on. And Samuel said, When thou wast little in thine own sight, wast thou not made the head of the tribes of Israel, and the Lord anointed thee king over Israel? Okay, when he was little in thine own sight, meaning what? When he was being anointed king, he was like, I'm not fit to be king. He didn't even have faith in himself, but you gotta understand, it's not about you, it's about the Lord. Okay? Verse 18 it says, And the Lord Yahweh sent thee on a journey, and said, Go and utterly destroy the sinners, the Amalekites, and fight against them until they be consumed. Wherefore then didst thou not obey the voice of the Lord, but didst fly upon the spoil, and didst evil in the sight of the Lord? And Saul said unto Samuel, Yea, I have obeyed the voice of the Lord, and have gone the way which the Lord sent me, and I have brought Agag the king of Amalek, and have utterly destroyed the Amalekites. But the people took of the spoil, sheep and oxen, the chief of the things which should have been utterly destroyed, to sacrifice unto the Lord thy power in Gilgal. And Samuel said, Hath the Lord Yahweh as great delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices as in obeying the voice of the Lord? Behold, to obey is better than sacrifice, and to hearken than the fat of rams. Okay? You hearing this? To obey is better than sacrifice, than to hearken and to hearken than the fat of rams. Verse 23, For rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft. Okay? Now scriptures say, suffer another witch to live, so witches got to be put to death. Okay? And witchcraft is also a sin, because you're breaking the law. You're indulging in worshiping other deities. Okay? It says, and stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry. Because thou hast rejected the word of the Lord, he hath also rejected thee from being king. You see, so that's how it goes. Saul got rejected because he rejected the word of the Lord. Israel got rejected because we rejected the word of the Lord. It tells you that in Hosea 4 and 6. This is the book of Hosea chapter 4 verse 6. It says, My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Who are his people? Israel. Okay, you so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans that we always bring out. Okay, starting from Judah all the way down to Issachar. Okay, you so-called black people, you so-called Negroes, all the way down to you Mexicans. Okay, so-called. Alright, it says, Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee. Okay, so here we go again. Go back to 1 Samuel. It says what? Because thou hast rejected the word of the Lord. Okay, he hath also rejected thee from being king. Go back to Hosea. It says what? I will also, because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee. Okay, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power, I will also forget thy children. Okay, so verse 24, back to 1 Samuel 15 verse 24. It says, verse 15 and 24, it says, And Saul said unto Samuel, I have sinned, for I have transgressed the commandment of the Lord and thy words, because I fear the people and obeyed their voice. So let's get a quick precept on why not to do stuff like that. Okay, you out here worried about what people think rather than what the Lord thinks. Okay, this is the book of Acts chapter 5 verse 29. It says, Then Peter, okay, we all know who Peter is, the head apostle, okay, of the 12 who followed Yahushua, the disciples who became apostles. It says, Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, We ought to obey God rather than men. Okay, simple as that. No ifs, ands, or buts. Alright, now Saul is out here deciding to what? He says what? because I fear the people and obeyed their voice. So he feared the people over the Most High. Okay, so that when you do that, your case is never going to end well, Verse 25 says, now therefore I pray thee, pardon my sin, and turn again with me, that I may worship the Lord. And Samuel said unto Saul, I will not return with thee, for thou hast rejected the word of the Lord, and the Lord hath rejected thee from being king over Israel. And Samuel turned about to go away. And as Samuel turned about to go away, he laid hold upon the skirt of his mantle, and it rent. And Samuel said unto him, the Lord Yahweh hath rent the kingdom of Israel from thee this day, and hath given it to a neighbor of thine that is better than you. Damn. Yo. Man. So think about it, man. You out here tripping, doing things that the Lord doesn't want you to do. Guess what happens? He takes that crown off your head and he gives it to somebody else who is better than you. That cuts right. Yo, that is a painful thing. Somebody tell you that? No, I'm gonna give whatever you have, I'm gonna take it from you because you ain't shit. I'm gonna give it to somebody else who's better than you. Wow. Man, after that, Saul was messed up, man. He was messed up. Saul was in his mind, he was thinking that, I'm gonna get the best things, I'm gonna spare the fatlings of the lambs, the good stuff. Okay, and I'm gonna make a sacrifice to the Lord. But that's not the command, that's not the directions and the order that the Lord gave you. So you putting your heart into it, guess what? It's not right. Even though what he was trying to do was lawful, okay, to make a sacrifice to the Lord, it wasn't expedient. Let's get that real quick. This book of 1 Corinthians chapter 10 verse 23 says, all things are lawful for me, but all things are not expedient. Now let's look up the word expedient real quick. Let's look up the word expedient. Let's see. It says, it's an adjective. It says advantageous, fit, proper to a purpose. Okay? Useful, beneficial. All right? Useful or beneficial. That is what expedient means. Okay, so what? It says, but all things are not expedient. That means all things are not useful or beneficial. It says, all things are lawful for me, but all things edify not. Now, what are we out here to do? To edify, right? To build. Okay? Do all things unto edification. So, right then and there, all our things, everything we say, everything we do should be about edification. It should be about what? About being expedient. Okay? For the elect's sake. Alright? It shouldn't be what we think or how we feel, because that shit does not matter. How you feel about this truth, the Lord is not looking at that. It's about what he wants. Okay? So always keep that in mind, and remember the story of Saul. Even though he had good intentions, that was not what the Lord asked. And you don't get cut. The Lord doesn't give you that easy pass when you disobey his will. Okay, you gotta take that very, very seriously, man. Okay, no more leniency now. You guys gotta really, be very, very careful, because the Most High is about to start casting judgment, heavy judgment, on this place. Okay. So I hope this was edifying unto the elect. I like to say, call Allah, Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, the water, Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai.